Hello, this is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil Sunder Raj. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Jermiah Chacòn, a sophomore at Brownwood High School in Brownwood, Texas, a center midfielder on the Varsity Boys Soccer Team, participated in the 5v5 soccer tournament on March 16th in San Antonio, Texas, and winner of the Top Preps Player Interview. Once again, Jermiah, thank you so much for speaking with me, and congrats on your success, playing soccer.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Kate, let's first talk about your sophomore year playing on the varsity, boys soccer team at Brownwood High School. Just describe it, and just in terms of playing with your teammates, and then the support from the coaching staff.
Well, it was a really, really good year from what we've had been going. This coaching staff that we had is only they're really new. They barely came here when I was becoming a freshman, so it's a new staff, everything. And from my freshman year to my sophomore year, we can see a lot of development going up into our program. Last year we made it pretty good far up into the playoffs. This year we got kind of behind a little bit because of the people we lost, some leadership we lost, but we picked it back up coming through the season, and we were just that close to get back into the playoffs. But like the environment we had, everybody was pushing one another. Nobody was trying to let up. We were just trying to keep going forward, keep raising up the program. So that's what we're trying to do for the next coming season, trying to get these 5v5 matches in, trying to get extra touches on the ball when we're not in season, stuff we can't push through. Our coaches are getting new programs during the summer, trying to get us in the cross country just so we can get our stamina built up, our endurance. And through the season, we're gonna do a lot of weight training, on the ball, off the ball, get our minds ready for the next season coming.
Yeah, it's fantastic to hear. And what does it mean, Jeremiah, to put that Lions number 23 jersey on every time you take the pitch?
Oh, it's a blast because we take it, and we see the fans. They're always back there,
Yeah.
cheering us on. Our littles
Yeah.
go up there. They're like, "You
Yeah.
got this, dude." It's like a real good feeling knowing that you're like you're somebody out there. Little kids looking up to you at our
Yeah.
in our program, and there's little kids, wanting to be your little when you're their big line, and we
Yeah.
a lot of people support us. We thank everybody that comes to our games and everything. And we make sure we put on a show for them.
Yeah, it's tremendous to hear. I want to ask you the first time you said put the jersey on freshman year, first game, to see your progress from that moment to now your sophomore year, not going, of course, in the fall into your junior year.
Yes.
I'm sure it's night and day, but you definitely carry a lot of pride and joy as well, Jeremiah.
Oh yeah, it was scary coming into freshman year because coming to middle school to high school varsity, not
Yeah.
skipping JV and everything. It
Hmm.
kind of scared me because I didn't have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
I was like the bottom of the food chain coming into freshman year, going into
Yeah.
having to play with the big boys. And
Hmm.
I think coming in throughout with the summer, I think I felt more confident coming into my sophomore year. So I guess the guys helped me a lot of that. They wanted me to
Yeah.
stick the next year. So now I
Hmm.
think I built up the confidence to help others coming in where my shoes were, like the freshmen we had,
Yeah.
and help build their confidence so we can all be a family and go into next year fighting away.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point you make here. And let's talk about this 5v5 soccer tournament that took place on March 16th in San Antonio, Texas. The team earned third place in that tournament. Describe said that environment, that experience of participating in a tournament.
Yes, sir. Well, I think it kind of everybody that we got for the 5v5. I think it was just me and my twin brother. We
Hmm.
we knew what we were gonna get into. Where everybody was gonna play fast. People were gonna communicate fast. The
Yeah.
other the other guys, theirs was brand new to them, so I tried to prepare them as much as I could. But of course, you can only prepare them so far. So we're like, let's go into the first game, seeing what we're capable of, seeing how the game builds.
Hmm.
And I know for the very very first half, they looked at me. They're like, "Hey man, this is really fast." I didn't know what to do right off the
Yeah.
ball. I'm like, yeah, man, it's fast. So you gotta think quick. You gotta get off the
Yeah,
ball, on the ball, off the
yeah,
ball. And so coming to the second half of the very first game, we're down by some, and then I just got everybody. I'm like, hey man, it doesn't matter how this first game goes, as long as you build from this. And so after the first game, come rolling around the second game, we got better. We thought quicker, we played the ball quicker, we understood what to do coming into the first half and not falling behind. So we felt like we did way much better second game. Third game
yeah,
going around, we went against the same team, and we shot the first goals. The
hmm
first very few shots we got, they were on, and we just kept fighting, kept biting, kept biting. But yet we still came up just a little bit short, but not as bad as the first time. So I mean, we saw
yeah,
improvement coming through all those games. Our last game, we got a W in there. We didn't concede. No, I'm pretty sure we conceded one or two, but we saw improvement. We saw what we were supposed to do. Saw how fast the game is from high school soccer. We have a little bit more time than 5v5, where the fields are shorter and you have
yeah,
less time, and it's often on the ball. Everything's quick. So I mean,
yeah.
everybody showed pride in what we got and how much we learned from the 5v5. So I mean, everybody wants to do it again. Everybody was like, "Hey, when's the next one? When's the next one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, if we keep doing this, we're gonna be able to take over our whole region, I guess."
Yeah, no, it's spectacular to hear, Nate. Big shout out to Coach Brock, as said for arranging this interview. And, again, so many players, teams, from I'm sure like all different regions.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
just like, again, the incredible atmosphere, to be around and like, again, to get
Oh
your
yeah,
name out there, the rest of your teammates as well. I mean, that's something that I'm sure you're going to cherish, forever. I mean, bucket
yes,
list
sir.
memories. I mean, just talk about that. It must have had goosebumps as well. Like, just in
Yes, sir.
terms of, you're playing against some of the top notch, competition there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, you talk about playing center midfield. Let's talk about break it down with the position that you
Break it
play.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. What are again,
Well,
just in terms of developing your skill set and being able to have that impact on the game.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like center mids can feel more of what's going around them because they're right in the middle, so they can play
Hmm.
defense, attacking, take control of the game more.
Yeah.
And of our season coming, the season that just flew right by us. When I was in that center mid position, I felt like I can take control more, and
Hmm.
so I asked coach, "Hey, how about a box to box center mid?" So we tried it, and it went pretty well because we saw an improvement going to just having our regular 4-4-2 diamond in the middle,
Hmm.
and having that false nine, those two wingers and a defensive mid. We saw it. It went really well for the first few games, and then we saw no leadership in the middle. Nobody was taking control. Nobody was, And then and coach was like, "Hey, we need somebody to come up and be a leader." So I mean, I took control, and I wanted to push everybody. So I asked him,
Hmm.
"How about a box to box?" He said, "Okay, let's try it." And we saw a lot of improvement from knowing how the defense is feeling all the way, how the center field is meaning, pushing up with your attackers and seeing what strategies we can use. And
Hmm.
so I guess being in center mid really changed a lot for me because I can help everybody out. And if I don't know, I'll wait and listen,
Hmm.
and I'll help them out throughout the game. And then
Yeah.
halftime rolls around and we all say our part, say what we got to fix, and then because most time in the locker room it's not coach talking, it's mostly the players. We see with our
Hmm.
eyes, we're playing the game, and
Hmm.
so coach just lets back and let us talk because he's watching and we're playing. So I mean, until everybody knows how we're doing or what we're doing or what's the game plan, what's the strategy, everybody gives their part to get the ball from one end to the field to the other.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the skill set behind that is a lot of endurance and stamina. So I mean, a lot of off
Yeah.
the ball, on the ball training, having to put in there. I mean, of course, having to be a great defender, also having to go up and attack with your team, not having to
Hmm.
fall back. I know in a few games we came from a defensive attacking. We were on an attacking spree. We were going and we had a cut in our midfield from our attacking because everybody was already worn out, tired. and we saw those in the last 2 games, and we found out everybody was getting tired more, so we just worked on nothing but endurance,
Mhm.
stamina, explosion, going to one foot to the other, on the ball and off the ball. And once we had everything in mind about that, we would go directly into shooting, directly into defending, and
Mhm.
especially for center mids, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work going from defensive attacking, and
Yeah.
so we worked a lot off season, and so when we're in season, we still work the most we can. Even though we didn't have practices, even if it was cold or hot, we would still go to the fields, or still go like indoors in our turf facility
Yeah.
and just start playing around, kicking the ball, trying to get that extra work in so we can make sure we have our chemistry that we will have for going
Yeah.
on to next year, or that season going on right then.
Yeah, that's so key. I think again is that building up that chemistry, that cohesiveness, and I
Mhm.
really truly feel that the practices, the off the field training translates, and makes, it simplifies the process, on the field and when you're in the games as well, or the matches. I'm so impressed, Jeremiah, with you. I can see you're a true student of the game at such a young age. Yeah, I feel like, you could be a coach down the road
Yeah,
as well, but and I think that's
yeah,
again, a testament to, uh, again, your analysis, the way you break it down, like, and that's again, just, I mean, skills that, those uncanny skills that is not taught, you really, again, have to experience it. And obviously you've been playing the game for so long, since you were 3 years old for the Brownwood
yes, sir.
Centex. Talk about that. 3 years old.
Uh, I mean, yeah. So my mom put me into soccer because when we were
Yeah.
born, we were preemies, we were premature babies. So I mean, but like she would see that as a challenge.
Yeah.
My mom taught what my mom taught me was, you see everything as a challenge, and it's whether if you want to make up that challenge and defeat it
Hmm.
yourself. So she would always put us with the big boys, even though we might be 3 years
Yeah.
old. She'll put us with the 4 year, 5 year old, 6 year old. So
Yeah.
so we can learn the game faster, and
Yeah.
we can build up that work, and end up paying, and it did end up paying off. We would play 5v5 when we were little. We played at full 11v11 games. I mean, we would make chemistry with people around our city when we were
Hmm.
3 years old, man. I mean, we made a little group called the Lions, because
Yeah.
when I was little and I had my big lion, right there next to me, who always says, um, "You're always gonna do what you want, but what you don't want, do it anyway, because you never know if that may be your successor." So I
Yeah.
mean, I would always go out there, give my part. Sometimes I would get a little heated in the moments, because I mean, I
Yeah.
was little, I wanted to win, I was raging, but I mean, emotion can take a big part of that. So I
Yeah.
would practice on that. I would practice, and so since we're three all the way, I guess until now, it's would give a little bit of emotion, but I would control it now.
Yeah.
Um, I played since I was three all the way until I was, I believe, 10, and then I took a little break of it, and of
Hmm.
course I got into other sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And then coming back, I think it was when I was 13, 14, and then I just missed the game. I went back to my old practice, my practice fields, where I would play games. I was like, man, I miss it. I miss it. So
Yeah.
that's where I changed. I stopped playing other sports and focused on soccer, and was like, man, I forgot how the feeling was. The rush of running with the ball on your feet.
Yeah.
Making those strategies, making those passes, playing those 1-2s, and making a goal that was like a century goal. So I
Yeah.
mean, now it's like I found what I wanted to be doing, and I took control of what I wanted to do, and I took those past lessons and put them in, and this is me now.
Yeah.
Trying to still learn the game, because every day it changes. Every day you find new
Yeah.
ways to take control of the game.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome to hear. Those competitive juices never, go away, and obviously that burning desire to succeed, and obviously it shines through here, on camera. Hey, again, playing the soccer for so long, what are some of the intangibles about the sport that make it so enjoyable to play? I mean, obviously it's a huge
mm,
community that, soccer has become, not only
yeah,
here in America but worldwide. But just,
yes,
staying in shape year round, proving those fundamentals
yes,
and skills, but obviously again, soccer, your number one sport.
yes, yes, it is. I mean, I would go to Mexico, and because my grandparents are from Mexico and everything.
Okay.
So playing with people like that study the game, because I mean they got
Hmm.
fields that are many beautiful fields out there. And every
Yeah.
time I go, it's like my cousins, like, sometimes my mom would wonder, where's my son? It's been a few minutes I've seen him. They're like, oh, he's over there at the stadium playing soccer with some
Yeah.
of his cousins, and like,
Yeah.
so I mean, yeah, so I mean, it's like I would meet different people that would go either to Mexico, like different, everybody being in like a different ethnicity, and
Yeah.
like you can see Brazilian players how they have their way to play,
Hmm.
Mexicanos how they have their way to play, Americans how they have their way, and everybody has a little bit different style of playing, but it all makes sense
Yeah.
to how we all play the game.
That's true. That's true. Again, outstanding point you made. And hey, I know you're stoked. 2 years, the World Cup. I mean, that's going to be,
Oh,
phenomenal. It said different countries hosting, including Mexico. I mean, the United
oh
States.
yeah,
It's going to be just again sensational. Hey,
uh,
you're talking about the year round. I mean, basically strength and conditioning, nutrition, rest and recovery. I mean, you played
yeah,
football, ran track, played baseball, soccer, and basketball.
yeah,
So, what does it take, to stay in optimal shape? Because obviously, the game is said is so
yeah,
draining, both emotionally and
yeah.
physically. So, what is like, been pivotal for you, Jeremiah, just to again keep your body, just in the right form here?
Well, it's I think a lot has to go of how you eat and what you consume.
Yeah.
Good stuff for your body's nutrients. It's good here and there to have a cheat day, yes, but it's also good to get some exercise in while you're at it. I
Hmm.
mean, recovery you can do so much. You can go to a chiropractor that can help you recover,
Hmm.
relax. Most time I would call my grandma my chiropractor because she would always take care of me when I would get hurt when I was little. She would always take care of me. It's like, what happened? It's
Yeah.
like a ball hit me in the face, and and so she would help me recover, and like she had a little bath, and I would take ice baths, help my body soothe a
Hmm.
little bit, right? But then recovering would take slower than actually getting back into the game. You have to remember, if you're hurt, take that time, because you never know if you try to skip a time where you're trying to recover and you get back into it too fast, because that
Hmm.
might be your last
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
So it's like when you work at the game, you have to make sure you recover flawlessly and make sure you have that time. You make your muscles build up. Don't overwork yourself, but work yourself to a point where you won't miss a beat. You if your left foot isn't as good, you practice until you don't get it wrong. You
Hmm.
you practice until that shot you can't take in the left bend with your left foot, or you keep practicing it. You keep
Hmm.
doing different drills. You keep trying to better yourself in either aspect of the game, off the ball or on the ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty much is eating well, and I mean, working out the best you can. In the
Yeah.
gym is also a big thing, because as history goes on and how people develop, I mean, body work, trying to be a little physical during the game. Soccer is a pretty physical game, so you
Yeah.
have to realize that you have to get in the weight room. You have to make sure you get the strength to, hey, if this man, is trying to get the ball for me, maybe put my body in the way. Or
Yeah.
like, especially people like Holland, he's big, he's muscular, he's probably gonna take some
Yeah.
people down, but he's gonna have that dominant foot and that weak foot to whiff it in, either left or right bend. And how they eat up there in the big leagues, MLS and all those, they eat very
Hmm.
nutritious. They have their food plan, and they make sure their body stays healthy,
Yeah.
whether in season or off of season. They make sure they're healthy, make sure they get some work in, and during the season they make sure they're recovering well. They
Hmm.
they might do one whole week, Monday through Friday, hard working, and then Saturday, Sundays recovering. Little stretchers, maybe an ice bath, maybe a mile run to recover. Keep the blood pumping, keep the blood going.
Yeah.
How I see it is with baseball, when they tell you to ice your arm and do a couple push-ups, it's the same thing with the body. I mean, once you just get off a game, maybe run the next day, maybe run a mile or two, but slow miles so you can get the blood running, keep it going through your body. Maybe you
Yeah.
do an ice bath right after so you can keep that blood, send it's there wherever you need it, like your legs, your knee, your ankle, anything that needs the most
Mhm.
recovery. Get out, maybe, dry off, eat some good nutritious food, something that can help your body. Run another mile, just so you can get the blood flowing again. Everything's back to normal. And then once that Monday, Tuesday hit, don't hit it hard, but hit it to the point where you're capable. Then Wednesday, Thursday comes along, you hit it hard for that Friday game.
Yeah, yeah. No, again, all valid points you make. I mean, there's so many, intricacies, so many, things, again, uh, just the bumps and bruises that you accumulate over a course of a game, a season, it takes its toll. And, I said, you need to be prepared, I said, how you recover and, have a game plan, I said, in place. And again, like, sound advice that you give. Hey, um, I'm wondering, soccer players, whether MLS, overseas, any
Mm.
players that said try to sort of mirror, maybe take away some of their tendencies and apply it to your game.
Um, I think I think a player that I would probably take the most strategies from is probably Lionel Messi, because I
Mhm.
mean I watch him and Ronaldo. I mean they're
Yeah.
really good players. They have so many strategies. They're both really good at what they do. People ask me, do you got a favorite? You got a favorite? I'm like, no, I don't have a favorite because they're both really good at different aspects of the game.
Hmm.
So I mean, I like when it comes to power and like physique, I seek Ronaldo's form because he's
Yeah.
very powerful on the ball. He has his endurance, he has his strategy. Messi, he scans the field like no other. I mean, he knows
Hmm.
where players are. He knows what he's gonna do before he even gets the ball. So
Yeah.
I try to learn that, especially as a center mid. I try to learn that from Messi, to scanning the whole field. Trying to go into attacking, I learned a lot from Ronaldo. Kicking, shooting, and where you need to be shot, knowing where to shoot, where like the goalies at like thick angles, to always shoot on the backside, or if you have a chance, shoot on the inside of them.
It's great. Hey, it's just not about being an athlete, it's being a student athlete. You've been able to excel in the classroom. As said, named student of the month a couple of times, student of the year, involved in the student council, key club, and drum captain for the Brownwood High School drum line. Talk about it. It's not easy being a student athlete, balancing it
Yeah,
out, but you've been able to do it effectively in terms of time management and organization.
yeah,
Just describe that process, just, that because again, you have to hit the books, uh,
yes, sir, yes,
take
sir.
quizzes, exams, but again, how you've been able to do it effortlessly. Just talk about that.
Well, I mean, so the host student of the year, my mom, she's like, because I have, since for every student of the year they take a picture for you as a portrait and they put it right there in
Mm-hmm.
the front. So I'll get like
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat pictures like, hey, I think this is you, man. Or, is that you up there? Saying I'm student of the year. I'm like, hey, chill out,
Yeah.
man. But my mom, I mean, I think my mom pushes me a lot because she's always saying the best the best you can be is in the classroom. I mean, that's where it starts. That's where
Yeah.
you can get your learning from. And so, and I, going into the classroom, I take a lot of pride of learning of what I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom gave me ideas. How about, taking pride in the community, helping your community out. So I went ahead and signed up for student council and key club because they help a lot with the community stuff, with
Mm-hmm.
the staff stuff. So I'm like, might as well help my community out as well. And so I've been doing all that. And the day they named me student of the year, they put it up there. And my mom's, I looked at my mom. She's like, look like that makes me mom of the year since my mom sits up there on that wall.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
shoot, I'll
yeah.
give her a little medal up there. And so, I mean, that and, being your drumline captain takes a lot out of you because our directors are retiring. So they put a lot on your shoulders now since
Yeah.
they've been having their time. So I mean they're I believe they're leaving us either next year or my senior year. Which I
Mm-hmm.
mean I've had great leaders. My drum director, Mr. Lacey, he always tells me, "Hey man, you're the leader of the squad. They look up to you. Go ahead and take
Mm-hmm.
initiative of what you can do." So when it comes to like practices, like songs we play, anything that has to do with it.
Hmm.
I make sure everybody's in check. Everybody make sure I have to make sure everybody has the right stuff on. Because I mean, we have a lot of people in the drum line, and one little bit, everything looks off. It's like
Yeah.
it's like hitting a drum. If one person does not hit that drum at the direct same time, it sounds weird. It sounds off. So we make sure every beat is on the same beat. We make sure everything's going off on the same time, just like going off at Key Club. We make sure every thing we have to do when it's planting flowers, or if it's helping homeless people, if it's helping people who can't get out much, getting them out a little bit, giving food to those who can't.
Yeah.
We make sure we try to get all of that in there, because you never know, that could be that you can put them in their shoes, wear their shoes for a day, and think, hey, I wouldn't want that for them, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that for yourself. So I mean, doing all of that brings grace to me,
Yeah.
because I mean, seeing people happy, having fun, and seeing people how they look up to you, and bringing the grace, saying how good I'm doing in my community,
Hmm.
seeing how you know doing all this helps younger people do the same. Help out your
Yeah.
community, be a leader for others, help out others who can't, don't have the access to a lot of things. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just keep it rolling. I keep it rolling, and I make sure I always thank people for doing stuff for me also, because I don't do it by myself.
Hmm.
My mom, she helps me a lot. My brother, when he can, he helps me, and my grandparents. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's terrific, to have that support system, and you're paying it forward, and obviously a role model, and gracious, and humble, displaying those, again, amazing traits. Just that's again, so wonderful to see. Hey, can you talk about the support from the Brownwood High School student body, administration, athletic department as well?
Oh, they're really supportive. I mean, they're giving us a lot right now. They're building a big indoor facility.
Okay.
They passed I forgot what it's called. It's like a loan type of deal, but they
Hmm.
passed it to help build a new stadium, get newer goals, get better training
Hmm.
facilities. And right now they're working it at the high school. They're starting that construction for when we go
Okay.
back next year. They're already starting on the new soccer field, so they're giving us a lot right now to
Yeah.
help us succeed for the years coming.
That's very
And
nice. I mean, to see the amenities and to see them taking that initiative, and aiding, the teams, the players, the coaches, because, that provides an extra boost and motivation, like, to go out there, I said, wear that jersey, proudly, and, represent, I said, your high school and your community. Hey, support system raised by a single mom. Your grandpa's been a father figure to you. You have a twin brother. Your mom says you and your twin brother are night and day. Talk about what they've meant to you along this journey here, both in athletics and academics here, Jeremiah.
Well, I mean, not she would always call us night and day, because I mean,
Yeah,
if it's not me doing something for either like the
yeah,
community or for my school, it's my brother doing it. If I'm sick one day or one whole week, my brother is like, "Here, I got you, bro. I got you. I'll be your twin." I mean,
that's
they'll see
great.
that it might still be. I'm like, "Nah, go ahead and make it." So if he's not doing something, I'm doing something for it. If I'm not
Yeah.
doing something, he'll do it for me. And I mean, my grandpa's a little old school in a factor, but I mean, he taught us a lot about respecting everybody, respecting people. Don't judge a book by its cover. Make sure you help everybody that
Hmm.
that may stand in a hard path. And I see my grandpa as a father figure, because of course my father left me when I was younger, and my mom tried really hard to be that father figure, but
Hmm.
she can only do so much for us. And so my grandpa stepped in and helped us a lot, because she was always at work, because she was taking care of two kids, pretty much three, because of my brother that we adopted. But I mean, she was working 2 or 3 jobs, pushing it, helping my grandparents because they were still older, and
Hmm.
so she was trying to help out a lot, trying to give us shelter, give us food on the table. And so I feel like I have to return that in favor and help her out
Yeah.
more and stuff. And so my grandpa's to that point where now he's like, he stays at home a lot. So I would visit him, show him how much I appreciate him, of how the young
Hmm.
man I, are becoming. So I mean, I go over there, show them videos and pictures. When I came back to the 5v5 thing, I'm like, look who I met, look who I met. Like, different people playing the sport. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's nice, man. That's nice that you're following of what you want to do. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I have to. I owe it to him. I owe it to him and my mom. They
Yeah.
pushed us a lot to do the best we can, and they always tell us, sky's the limit.
Hmm.
There is no limit to the sky. So I mean, I figured that out. Coming, doing a lot.
Yeah, it's remarkable. That's, again, it's really, special to see. Hey, with all the pressures you have, the roles and responsibilities, you need to kick back. Some of your hobbies are going to the gym, playing soccer, Sunday family dinners at the church, playing the drums, guitar, and saxophone, hanging out with your buddies, and always kicking the soccer ball around. What are those moments like for you, Jeremiah? Just being able to, you know, uh, relax, clear your head and, enjoy those, I said, those, again, incredible moments. Oh, I can't hear you. You got to increase your volume. I think, oh, there you
Okay,
go.
can
Okay.
you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I think going to the gym, by myself or with one of my buddies is like, I have that moment where, because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I could be a gym rat sometimes and love going, getting pumping,
Hmm.
getting work.
Yeah.
And so coming home and having that Sunday dinner with the whole family, seeing the family talk, smile, say funny moments like in the past, brings joy to my heart. That seeing everybody's, keeping with our family feud and stuff, everything. And again, playing, keeping with the soccer ball with my buddies. I mean, sometimes we go to the field, we kick the soccer ball. We'll play 5v5, or if you get a big group, we'll play 10v10, 11v11, maybe sometimes 7v7. And we'll just have a big laugh. Maybe we'll have a dinner right after we play or anything. And
Hmm.
we'll just, that's like my second family, me and my
Yeah.
buddies, having our little family. Every Thanksgiving, we actually do a family Thanksgiving. Like it's like us buddy us guys. We go to like a pizza place, or we go to a restaurant, and we'll go eat, sit down, think of our favorite moments on the pitch. In school, catch up
Hmm.
with everybody that wasn't with us, that joined us later, or go back and reflect on what we've accomplished and what we still have, you know, stuff to do. And I mean, that's really graceful to me. And when I have my
Yeah.
personal times, like playing the drums, of course, because I mean, I am in the drum line. It's just,
Hmm.
feeling the rhythm, feeling the beat. And then I thought, since my family's very musical, my mom plays the accordion, and
Oh,
so I
okay.
was like, well, might as well learn something else. So I started going through it, and I started learning the saxophone, and great tunes. I don't play it in high school anymore because I do the drums. But I come home, I play it, and then sometimes my brother picks up the guitar, and my brother's the one who actually taught me guitar because he's the one who learned it first. So he
Yeah.
he taught me some guitar. So it was like big brother got to help little brother with some stuff. So like he taught me guitar, I would teach him saxophone, and we would just play a jam
Yeah.
here and there. We'll just have that brotherly love of ours
Yeah.
and catch up.
Yeah, it's magnificent to hear, that have that bond, with your twin brother, but to see, again, how music is so soothing and just like, again, peaceful and like, you really can, you're developing, again, that skill set, and that's again, you know, just outstanding to see. Hey, before you get the last word, here, Jeremiah, you talked about it before in the interview about the younger kids out there. So I mean, there's so much, it's so much competitive and
Yeah.
just again the stress of trying to succeed and move up that ladder. I'm wondering again, you've been involved in athletics for so long, and just playing the game of soccer. What would be your advice, your message to the younger kids and athletes out there if they were watching this?
I think my message to all the younger kids is, I mean, you can do so much, and it's up to you if you want to put in that work. I mean, you have no limit. Your limit is none. You can go as far as you want if you have your mind in the right spot.
Hmm.
And if your dream not gonna come easy, you have to fight for it. You know, some obstacle might come. You got to push right through it. Push right through it. You know, reach for that dream and make sure you don't let up, because it's not gonna let up for you.
Yeah, well said. I think it, again, excellent advice that you've offered to younger kids and athletes out there. Okay, Jeremiah, you get the final word of message here for family, friends, teammates, and coaches. The Brownwood High School said Varsity Boys Soccer Team. You know, again, student body, administration, athletic department, the community of Brownwood, Texas. Well deserved, and I'm sure there are a lot of people you want to thank here.
Yes, yes. There's, all my family. They pushed me really hard to become what I am now. The body, they don't they never single anybody out. They always push everybody. They always push everybody to be leaders for this community, help others. I always have mentors in the past or mentors I have now that help me out every way, but they always make it, they don't make it come easy. They always tell me, well, I'll help you halfway, but you got to help me the other half. They
Mhm.
they give me a little nudge, and I'll always take it from there, and make sure there's always a learning lesson through my path of life. Learn from
Yeah,
everything.
no. Yeah, that's again fantastic to hear. Hey, a true honor and privilege being able to, speak with you, Jeremiah. Again, congrats on your success playing the game of soccer. You still got 2 more years left, and
Yeah,
can't wait to see what you do and to run this back again. Said when you eventually, commit to college, and again, wishing you continued success.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.